In today's video, I started a brand new hardcore world. Since I've been playing a lot on my SMP, and I decided that I should start playing single player a little more and start, appreciating the small things in the game. So today, I started a brand new hardcore world. I started the first few days by kind of just like running around and looking for stuff, and eventually, I would say probably like 800 blocks from spawn, I actually found a village. I took some potatoes and a couple bundles from there, and yeah, I found a village and I was able to, loot some of it, uh, you know, after smelting some iron and copper. And let me see, I think you guys should be able to see that little one house that shows the village. But yeah, and I killed the iron golem, which I was very scared it was gonna kill me because, obviously I had like no armor and he was freaking just standing there. I thought he was glitched, but apparently he got like stuck on the path block as I'm rewatching this. But yeah, that's pretty much all that happened. And also, if you guys are wondering, I actually am playing on Bedrock, but the reason I have Java Combat is I was able to install a mod that basically adds it to Bedrock, which is really cool. It's called Blurry's Java PvP. I got it off CurseForge, and it's really cool. I definitely recommend it. Literally right outside the village, I actually then decided to like dig down a little bit in this little strip area, and I actually found like a small little cave type thing. So I used water to get down there, and it led to this little opening kind of, and I was able to go down there and mine some iron. And as I kept exploring this cave, I saw a creeper and zombie, so I tried to take them out with dripstone, but I missed, and the creeper actually ended up just blowing up, and it literally knocked me off the thing, getting me down, well, my little bridge, getting me down very low. And there was a zombie still right there, so I had to take him out, and I did, but I got down to 2.5 hearts, which is crazy. I was on day 4 already. My hardcore world almost ended, but I got a decent amount of iron out of it actually, so it ended up being okay. And eventually, after I mined enough iron, I was able to get a full set of iron armor, which is so good. No, I'm kidding. It's actually not bad though. I mean, it's better than, full copper, which is basically what I have now, so I'll take it. It's better than nothing. But yeah. But as I got deeper into the cave, even eventually finding some diamonds, I actually went across this lava lake and, had to fight this big ass slime off, because apparently he has something against me traveling he's the lava lake defender. But I found a spider spawner, and it actually had a notch apple in it, bro. And that's actually insane that on day 4 I have my first notch apple already. That is just like absolutely insane to me. So yeah, just wanted to show y'all that. And once I got out of the cave, I went back to the village and I set up a little base of operations and just unloaded like a bunch of this stuff that I got, and even started smelting my iron and gold that I got. But I just literally unloaded like everything into this chest, including the precious notch apple that I got. I'm still so stoked about that. But yeah, I just set up this little couple chests and a crafting table, and this is my base for now. And so the next thing I did is I actually started to, I'm in a village, I might as well use the villagers. So what I did first is I trapped a couple of the villagers inside a boat, and then I used a lead to bring them into this little like small Arctic house, just so I could save the 2 villagers later, so I could make like a villager breeder or something. And then once I was done with that and I like locked them in that room, I started basically like getting the villagers into trading stalls basically. And so I started making these like small little trading like stall type things. I mean, really that's what they are, just little trading stalls for me to put the villagers in, basically. And once I was done with I made quite a few in like a little line out of spruce planks. And once I was done with that, I started putting them in the stalls. And so basically my plan was to get a couple Fletchers, because as you can see in the background, I was kind of setting up this little like 2x2 spruce tree, kind of not really a farm, but like just a place for them to grow. So with Fletcher villagers in the 2x2 spruce trees, I'd be able to cut them down like really fast. And basically having 2 Fletchers is like free emeralds if I have, you know, like a kind of makeshift tree farm. So once I got the 2 Fletchers in there, I also wanted a couple armorer villagers so I can get diamond armor, and I also wanted a farmer villager for food. And eventually, after enough trading with the armorers, I was able to fully level them up, and I was able to get half diamond armor, which I think is, you know, pretty good for now. And eventually I'll obviously be able to get full diamond and, you know, full diamond tools as well, but this is just a start. And finally, after extending my trade hall a little bit and, you know, getting another armor, I was finally able to level this guy up by buying a bunch of chainmail armor, and I got full diamond armor finally. So now I can move on to getting full diamond tools. Also, as I was waiting for the trades to reset for the Fletchers, I saw an Enderman in my village, so I, you know, killed him, and I ended up getting my first Ender Pearl of the world, which I think is, you know, pretty sweet. And after getting a diamond pick and some other tools, I ended up just walking around for a little bit and exploring, and I found this ruined portal actually like pretty close to my base. So I had to fight a few of these, you know, like snow skeletons, whatever the hell they're called. And then I, you know, mined it up, and I ended up getting like a bunch of obsidian and 2 gold blocks. So I had enough to then go to the nether. After getting the obsidian for my portal, I decided to start trading with librarians. And literally on my first villager, I got this crazy villager with prot 3, sharp 4, and knockback 1, which, you know, isn't the max level, but it'll do for now. And that is definitely like an amazing villager for the first one. But so yeah. But something really bad happened without me even realizing. For some reason, I went to check on my villagers, and literally every single one of them except the librarian was dead. And I literally had no idea how this happened. My librarian was fine, and I went to check on the villager breeder ones, and they were good too. But I literally have no idea how these guys died. But it was very confusing to me. But then I just started, you know, like breaking down the little slabs and trapdoors I used to keep them in, and I started, you know, getting ready to bring new villagers in there. And after a while, it took me a bit, but I got all the villagers back, and then I got to continue trading with the librarian villagers. And basically, you know, I was just cycling trades for a while until I got, you know, something that would be of use to me. And eventually, after not too long of scrolling, I got Depth Strider 3, which is actually a really good, you know, trade, especially for 21 emeralds. So I crafted some paper and locked in the trade. I ended up cycling a few more trades with another villager, and I ended up getting Fire Aspect, which is actually going to be really useful because, you know, every time I kill an animal now, I'll be able to cook it, and just Fire Aspect in general is just, you know, a very useful enchantment for like fighting mobs and stuff, so I'm definitely keeping that. But I still wanted one more enchant, Mending, so I decided to get a few more villagers and continue scrolling till I found it. And eventually I found Prot 3, which, you guys know I already have a villager. My first villager was actually Prot 3. But I checked, and this one is actually, like, significantly cheaper than my last one. Pretty much by, like, 50% cheaper. And I wouldn't have to level up the villager. I could just get it immediately, so I ended up just deciding to take this one. I kept the other villager because of the knockback and sharpness he had, but, I kept this guy. And as you can imagine, cycling through those trades was very, very boring. So I decided that to take a break from it, I was just going to make my nether portal. And, I had enough obsidian, so I ended up making the portal. And I ended up spawning in this little, like, nether cave? I really don't know how to describe it, I'm not going to lie. Like, it's this little, like, pocket in the air. And when I escaped, there was a decently big area, but nothing, like no structures I could see. And I made my way down to the little floor because I was quite high up actually from where my portal spawned. And I made my way down and I explored for a little bit. I ended up fighting a few magmas and getting shot at by gas, which was very annoying. But eventually I wandered around for a while, and like not even like pretty close to my portal was the nether fortress. So, I lucked out there. So I actually ended up not looting it. I just saved the cord so I could come back later, because I really did not have the gear for this. I'm not, like, I was full, like, Prot 1. Some of my pieces were, like, fire protection. Like, I was not geared enough. So I just decided to go back to my portal and, continue gearing up. And while cycling out trades, I actually got a trade for Sharp 5, which was actually cheaper than the Sharp 4, which my original villager was selling me. So, I looked at some of my other trades, marbled at the great trades, and my original villager, well, he had to get, I had to slime him out so I could make space for new villagers. And after many days of cycling in that original villager's, little trading stall, I ended up finally getting mending, and it felt like literally an eternity. But so after buying some armor with, better durability from the villager and putting Prot 3 on it, I decided to go to the nether. And all I needed to do was go back to the fortress and grind blaze rods so I would eventually be able to, go to the end. So I made my way back to the fortress. And when I, got to the fortress, I broke in through the roof and just started exploring. I wanted to find out where the blaze spawner was, obviously, because that's the most efficient way to get blaze rods. But I also decided it would be, I always do this. I think it's smart to set up these little, like, safety bar things just in case you're really low and you need to run from a wither skeleton, because they're 3 blocks tall, so if you put a block 3 blocks up, they can't go up there. But yeah, so I just ran around looking for the blaze spawner for a little bit until eventually I stumbled upon the netherwort staircase, and I had to take the netherwort because it's a really useful resource for, like, you can't brew potions without it, and well, most potions. And also it makes red nether brick, which I'm considering using for one of my builds next. So, it's a very useful resource, so I had to get it. And after quite a while, I finally found the blaze spawner, so I just decided to, sit here and grind blazes for a while until I had enough to not only go to the end, but I also wanted to make, at least one ender chest, because those are really useful. And once I had enough blaze rods, which, I ended up getting about 15, I just ended up leaving the fortress because, there's really no purpose for me to stay. So I ended up just going back to my base. And once I got back to my base and did a little bit of trading, I was finally able to get maxed out armor, full unbreaking, mending, and Prot 4, which definitely gave me a lot of confidence, and I knew I was ready to go to the end. And after finding the stronghold and looking around for quite a while, this took extremely long. You would not even believe how long I was looking for this end portal, but eventually I ended up finding it, breaking the spawner thing and, you know, going to the end. And after filling in the portal, I was finally ready to go to the end. Oh my gosh, it's lock-in time. I've never played hardcore before, so I don't know if this is gonna be like a, you know, like I'm gonna be fearing for my life because I'm in hardcore, low-key. But oh, okay, half my screen is just not loaded in. That is interesting. That is actually crazy. Here, wait, let me check if it's... Alright, nah, it's normal now. But, yeah. Let's beat this Ender Dragon, y'all. Let's beat this Ender Dragon. Damn, this is like a long ass... Damn, where is the surface, bro? Alright, there we go. Damn, bro. I should make a pillar. Just, yeah, I'm just make a pillar. Just, you know, so I know where this thing is. Low key. But, yeah. Oh my gosh, bro. I have no bow. Are you... Alright, I guess I'm bridging to the towers, bro. Wow. I really did all this preparation for this fight and I didn't bring a bow. Whatever. Alright, lock-in time. The Ender Dragon. Oh my gosh, it's gonna take so long bridging all the way up here. But, alright, I guess I have no choice. Oh my gosh. Gotta use all my color. Boom, there's the first one down. Many more to go. Honestly, I could just break like a couple. I'm not gonna lie. If I just break a couple and just start like critting out, I think I'm good, honestly. Like that's usually, I usually don't break them all. I feel like breaking them all is shit. You could leave a couple. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is annoying, dude. I'm missing my water. Almost there. Yo, my heart is beating, bro. I do not want. I've never died to that. Hey, what the? What the? Bro, where's my water? What? He just stole my water? Are you serious? Bro, no, what? Alright, I guess I'm bridging, bro. Wow. He actually just... Bro, I didn't even know he could do that. So I actually have to be careful now, bro. What the... And now I have no defense against Enderman. I mean, they're not even a big problem for real, but... Oh my gosh, that is not... Bro, I didn't even know he could do that. If that water... If I missed that water, bro, I would have been dead, I think. And now I can't even water clutch down, bro. I just have to do this slow-ass mining down. Really nothing to lose. Oh, I hate stupid dragon's breath, bro. This should not do that much damage. Should have had a better food system, bro. Shit. Yo, low-key, I'm doing damage, bro. I can, like, do I even need to... I don't even need to break the other crystals, bro. I'm doing damage. Look, he's already down at, like... Bro, I got him down to, like... 75% health, bro. I could, yeah. I don't even need to break the crystal. Yeah, look at this, bro. Look at the damage. Literally, if he purchased 2 more times, I could kill him. I could kill him easily. Oh my gosh, dude, this shit is wow. Damn, bro. He'll be over here. Nah, I probably got one. What the, bro? Okay. Yeah, literally. It's a perch one more time, bro. Well, I can wait. I can get him here. I can get him here. Oh my. Okay. Yeah, one more perch. It's over for bro. One more perch, bro. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Bro, he doesn't even do damage when he's pushing me, bro. Like full Pro 4, he cannot do nothing. This is so bad. Bro, I literally cannot hit him with the dragon breath. He's just gonna keep healing. He's just gonna keep healing. I cannot hit him because of the dragon breath. Oh my, this is so annoying. I'm actually... Bro, I gotta make sure I don't get pushed off again, dude. That was bad. That almost had me out. Yes, Enderman. Help me, Enderman. Got over here. Helping me out. I need more pearls, bro. Just in case he does that again. I should have stocked up on pearls. Bro, it's just so annoying collecting pearls without looting 3, bro. I should have got looting 3 while I was collecting pearls in the nether, but... We, bro, dumbass dragon's breath, bro. This is a long perch, bro. I really cannot, okay, fine. Holy shit, bro. That is so, yep, you're dead. You're dead, you're dead. You're literally dead. Oh my, what the hell was that? Bro, this is actually crazy. Guys, literally sending me flying. I'm stupid as fuck. Yo, he's so low. Oh my. He's not even doing damage. I just don't want to get pushed off, bro. I don't want to get pushed off in the wood. Free pearl. Free pearl. Yeah, he's healing so much, bro. What the? Okay. I think I'm good at just bridge. Okay. Okay. Alright, it's okay. It's okay. We can go back up. I'm going to just do a little bit. Pearl. Back up on there. And I'm going to keep bridging. So, eventually I have to get there. I think if I break this one, I might be able to just crit him out. I don't know if I need to break more than one, but this might work. Oh my gosh, this is nerve-wracking. I've been here for so... Oh my... Holy... Okay, let's just pop a gap real quick, bro. Oh my gosh. Got me hella low, bro. I would have been so mad if fall damage is the thing that kills me, bro. I should be able to crit him out now, bro. Should be able to crit him out. Let's see. Yeah, I'm doing so much damage. I think, yeah, I hit that crystal. My hell, okay. I don't know. Should I break another one? I don't know. I think I should just... I don't know, bro. I think this strat is just wait till he purchases and crit him out. Because look at, yeah, look how low he is. Holy lag. Alright, yeah. Now I should... Oh my, bro. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. Please, bro, please. I can get him. I can get him. Oh my gosh. Alright, next perch. It literally, if the next time he perches, he has to die, bro. Like, literally, there's no way he survives, right? There's literally no way. There's literally no way. Alright. Okay, not perching. Should I get more pearls? Okay, he's perching, right? He's perching. Okay. Now, it's crunch time. Yeah, it's over. Look at bro's health. Yeah, it's over. It's over. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh. Get out of here. Finally, bro. That took, like, extreme. That took so much longer than it should have. Oh, holy XP. Yes, bro. 65 levels. And my armor is... Yep. Okay. That's all I could ask for, bro. That's all I could ask for. Let's go. That actually makes me so happy, bro. Let's just get this guy. And finally, after beating the Ender Dragon, which took so much longer than it needed to, I have no idea why, but this fight was just like unreasonably harder than it was like in every other time I've fought the Ender Dragon, bro. Like this was unreasonably hard, but I was finally able to just get the dragon egg and go on to the, outer end. And so I built this little cobblestone trapdoor thing. As you can see, I don't know how fucking trapdoors work, but yeah, I used the trapdoor to go through, and I went through and I'm in the outer end. So obviously what I'm gonna be looking for here is elytras and a little bit of shulker ball. Well, not elytras, just one elytra, but and some shulker boxes, obviously. And after a while of searching, I finally found an end city with a ship. So you already know I went up and looted it immediately. I went in and looted the, chests, and it wasn't really anything overwhelming. It was, some Prot 3 boots, some gold and iron, a couple of spears, but the most important thing I was here for, the elytra. And after finally getting the elytra, I, went back to the main end island and jumped through the portal. Gotta sit through these credits. No, I'm kidding. You already know I skipped them, and I came back and, I'm in my village. Once again at the base. Very much missed this base. I was away for quite a while. So yeah, it was good to be back. So when I got back to the village, I was finally able to, use the books that I got from the libraries in the stronghold, and I was able to put looting on my sword, unbreaking on my elytra, which I put mending on later, and feather falling on my boots, so truly maxing out my gear. I then decided to take some time and build a mob farm, mainly for gunpowder from creepers so I can get infinite fireworks, but it works very well. I will leave the link in the farm, below. But I didn't really want to bore you guys with, making you guys watch me build this thing. So I decided to skip through it, and yeah, it works very well. And then I decided to make a raid XP farm. So basically I could be getting like emeralds, totems, and XP. And I didn't really want to bore you guys with, watching me build this thing either, because this is a very easy farm, but it's boring. Once again, I'm gonna leave the link to this farm in the description. But yeah, the only thing I have left to do is just transport the villager, which is always the hardest part of these things because they are very annoying to transport. But this time it wasn't too hard. I just made this little mini bridge and just guided him in, and the raid farm got me many totems, many emeralds. It works very well, so I highly recommend it. I then went back to the fortress to get a little blaze rods and also see if I could get enough wither heads to fight the wither, but I only managed to get one because they're really annoying to get. No surprise there, but yeah, so I don't think I'll be fighting the wither in this video. Maybe if I make another episode on this world, then we'll see, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to be fighting the wither in this video. I then decided to make my village look a little nicer by tearing down the village. And I know that makes 0 sense, but it's because I don't really want my base to be in a village. Even though it's where a village spawned, it's just, I don't want it to be in a village, if that makes sense. I'm gonna build my base around here, and I don't want it like surrounded by village houses and stuff. So I just started tearing down all these little snow and spruce wood structures, except the ones that I'm using to hold villagers, because obviously I need those. But these empty ones really have no use to me, so I just ended up tearing them down. And after doing that, I actually decided I did not want to make my base in the village, even though I just spent all that hard work tearing down the village for no reason. I decided to make it right across the village on the little island type thing. And basically what I started by doing is I started flattening this area and then making I used a little Minecraft circle generator to generate a little circle, because what I wanted to do is I wanted to outline a little circle area with spruce wood, and in the middle I wanted to make a hole which would it's like an elytra entrance that I would fly down into my base. And I thought that was a sick idea, so I decided to make it. And this circle actually took a decently long time to remove the snow and flatten the area, and then carve out this middle and all the different pathways. So I put a lot of hard work into this base. When I was finished with smoothing out the area and making paths for the base, I started making an outline with spruce planks. When I was done with that, I started flattening all the dirt and ground around my little spruce log outline. And for now, this is the finished product of the inside area, or the inside of the little spruce outline of my base. And at this point, I started digging down the little hole that I will be flying in with my elytra to the bottom of my base. But this took incredibly long, so I decided to get another librarian villager to get it efficiency 5 for my pickaxe, and this just made mining so much quicker. And eventually, after a bit of mining and a bunch of pickaxe durability, I got to the desirable level of my base. And I decided for my base I wanted to use ice and deep slate as this little pattern type thing. So, and ice is a very common resource in the biome I'm in, so I just decided to mine up a bunch of ice spikes near my little village area, and it got me plenty of ice. And when I got enough ice, I just started placing down a bunch of ice pillars in the middle of each side of the little elytra flying pit. And I think it looks quite nice as I'm filling it in. And because I ended up using a lot of ice, I actually ran out of it while I was building, so I just went back down to the ice peaks and just started, mining away at the ice. After a while of grinding, I finally finished the ice
And
pillars.
after a lot of placing blocks, oh my gosh, finally. We got this final ice pillar done. Bro, this finna look so nice when I'm actually done with this, bro.
And so then I got started placing down the deep slate brick next to the ice, and I really like this design. I think I made a good, choice of the block palette. I think the dark deep slate block allows the ice to like use contrast, and I think it's really cool. And as you can see, I think it turned out pretty well. Let me know what you guys think. And after a long grind of placing blocks, I finally finished the little pathway down to my base. I think it turned out really nice. Let me remove this scaffolding, and yeah, I think it turned out really nice, bro. I like how the ice looks contrasted to the deep slate, as I said. I think this turned out really well. And so what I did next is I knocked down one of the wall areas that I placed in order to make an entrance to the actual base, because right now it's not really looking like a base. It's just looking like a whole lot of nothing. So I knocked this little area down, and I basically carved an opening for the actual base part of the base, so I could actually store my stuff in instead of just having this cool little landing area. And obviously I wasn't just gonna leave the floor as just regular old deep slate, so I wanted to change it up and use blackstone. That is if I can actually survive this lava attack. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I had to go to the nearest basalt delta, which was not near, but it was not nearby my portal. I'll just say that. It was very, very far, but it was worth it, because blackstone is honestly one of my favorite blocks to build with, and I think the floor came out really nice. And after getting a decent amount of blackstone, I decided to call it quits and head back to the base. And when I got back to the base, I immediately started carving this little area out and filling it with polished blackstone, and I thought it looked very nice for this floor. When I was done with that, I started carving out this little room that I was going to make my brewing room, and I started replacing the walls with deep slate tiles. On top of each table, I then started putting brewing stands, but I only had 2. But it's a good thing I went to go to that fortress before, because I have loads of blaze rods. So I just took a few, crafted as much as I needed, and then boom, I had all the brewing stands I needed. When I was finished with that, I placed in the rest of the deep slate tiles for the walls and ceiling. I didn't want to use the same, floor as the main base, so I decided to give this room like its own little custom floor made out of nether bricks. And I thought it was a really good looking, I think it came out really good. I used glowstone in the ceiling with stairs surrounding it, so I kind of did a similar design where I put chiseled nether brick and stairs surrounding it. And I think it looks really good in my opinion. And that is the finished brewing room. This is pretty much all the work I'm going to do on the base in this episode. Let me know in the comments how this turned out. And now, of course, I cannot forget about the most important part of any hardcore Minecraft video, getting a pet. And I actually tamed 2 cats. And this first black and white one I tamed, and then I tamed this cute little brown one. And the black one I'm actually going to name Bob, because he looks like my cat Bob. Here's a picture of Bob on the screen. I think he looks just like him. And this little brown guy, well, he doesn't have a name. So that's why I'm going to let you guys name him in the comments. So, give me some name ideas in the comments, and the best one, in my opinion, I will choose. And there we go. I'm gonna sleep, and
day 167. This is going to be, the end of this episode. I did a bunch of stuff. I built a couple farms, built a really nice base, unfinished, obviously. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to play this world again, if you want an episode 2. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see y'all in the next video. Appreciate y'all for watching.